Bitcoin has crashed from 126 to close to 80, so that's a 30-35% crash maybe. But MSTR has suffered a lot more heavily.
The business exists to create kind of this common stock that is outperforming Bitcoin. But if it is crashing 30% in 1 year or 6 months or 3 months, it's also crashing more than 30%. And that's exactly what's played out over here. The price of Bitcoin has crashed. And as we discussed, all of this preferred equity exists on the balance sheet, right? And they are going to still get their fixed 10%. So all of that excess loss in the short term is all being absorbed by the common equity. And added to that, it just seems like empirically, if you observe the pattern for the last 5 years, the sentiment for the stock is very highly correlated to Bitcoin sentiment, right? Like if Bitcoin sentiment is good, Bitcoin is reaching new all-time highs. The sentiment in the stock is very good. There are new people learning about the company, about the stock, investing in the stock.
I'll just push back on that a little. We had an all-time high sometime in October, right? The 126K. MSTR was still close to 50% below its top then. So this time, when we had that bull run to 126, MSTR didn't quite rise with it. So the mNAV compression that has happened, because I think it was November last year, so November of 2024, when the mNAV was close to 3.
Yeah.
And right now the mNAV is close to 1.15, 1.2, in that range. So the mNAV has compressed significantly. Now you can argue that what happened in November of 2024 was there was too much exuberance.
Yeah.
A 3x mNAV can be hard to justify because it will take a long time for strategy to compensate and give them the equivalent of Bitcoin that they would have gotten had they just bought Bitcoin directly.
Yeah.
So maybe it was not a smart decision to buy then. Since then, the mNAV has compressed quite a bit, and now it feels more fair given the BTC yield that the company can generate.
So if you think about numbers conceptually, if you say there's a 10% BTC yield each year, that means you would double the Bitcoin per share in roughly 7 or 8 years. Which means today, if you buy the stock at a 2x premium and 8 years out, you sell the stock, not worst case scenario, but in a bad scenario at 1x, then you would have still gotten the same return as Bitcoin. Although you paid a 2x premium now, because the Bitcoin per share doubled, so the compression in the premium is made up for by the increase in Bitcoin per share.
Correct.
Anything above 1x, if you're exiting, you're actually outperforming Bitcoin.
Correct.
Anything above 10%, you're actually outperforming Bitcoin. Buying below 2x, you're outperforming Bitcoin. So all of those things can kind of be a goalpost. So it again depends on your outlook of BTC yield in the future, and that's the way you can do some math at least.